Okay, it all looks good. So we're going to put some fluid in here now. So I got some leftover fluid to use. Got a little bit left of that. Got a little bit left of this one. Now these here were blue, as I recall. No, this one's clear. This was the same color as dot 3, dot 4, which is usually clear, which is a bad idea when using brake fluid. You want to see a different color for dot 5, that way you know it's different. That one was clear. This one here was kind of clear from Harley too, that's why I don't want to use it. So this one here should be purple. So always put 2 holes in the top with a Phillips screwdriver. So you got a bleed hole and you got an air hole. Like that. That does 2 things. It keeps you from coming out too fast, but also keeps the air, your moisture in the air, from going in there very easily. And you should always put your lid back on it when you're not using it, because the moisture that comes out of the air will screw up your brake fluid. It's called moisture contamination. Not a good thing. Okay, so right now what I put in there already drained out. It has not come out the bottom yet. See how this is purple color? See how it's pouring in the hole as quick as I'm putting it in? It's not coming out the bottom down here yet. Okay. Trouble on that. Okay, we're going to go ahead and pump the pedal here a little bit. And see how the fluid came out. So now I got to put my finger over it. Pump it correctly. Read the pressure, hold your finger over it, go back. Hear it squirting now? It's primed right now, there's all fluid in there, no more air. So now I got to pull my finger off, which is going to let it all bleed out. And put the fitting back up in here. Try to get it done relatively fast, which is totally not happening because I can't get in here. I think I got it started. 12-point wrench, and the wrench does not want to fit on the fitting because of the chrome. It's got aftermarket chrome on it, so they didn't polish the head down, they just chromed over it. So it's real thick. So your wrenches don't fit. The problem is it's 12-point, you have to use a 12-point wrench. You can't just put a crescent wrench on there. Pain in the butt. Should be just about done. Starting to get tight. Okay, try to get the wrench on. So you gotta try to leverage the wrench on to get the torque, so you can torque the damn thing. See, I'm gonna go on there. Okay, put a little pressure on it. lot of pressure. Okay, so that's nice and tight there now. I'll wipe this down nice and clean so if it leaks you'll know. If it's all full of fluid right now, you won't be able to tell if it's leaking because it'll be all wet. Pull it around that thing. So you take your fingers, which are dry, almost, kind of dry. You run your finger across it and see if you can feel anything. It's a little bit slimy because it's still got residue, but it's not wet. I got residue on my fingers still too, which is not helping the situation. Okay, but there's no standing moisture anywhere. It's all dry. Okay. So now we have to pump this thing a little bit. So we're getting rid of our 12 point. We're going to go back to a 6 point because these will round off with a 12 point. A 6 point is a lot more contact. It doesn't round off your fitting as quickly. So I usually poke a hole through this so it'll stay here, so when you squirt on it, it'll squirt all over the paper. Not all over the bike or me. So you need to put a hole in here. Yeah, that was too big of a hole. There we go. Now you got a nice hole right there where it's poking through. Put your wrench on there. And now you can open and close it, it'll squirt on top of your paper and not make a huge mess. And I got the clamp on here shutting everything down. So that holds the piston all the way in so there's no air in that. So now we're going to try to pump this thing. We still have fluid up there. So let's see what happens. We're just going to go a little time here and see what happens. So there's one pump. And of course I can't do it with one hand. That'll be too easy. I need something to hold this down, which I don't have. So just to keep this relatively loose. One. Fluid came out. Go over here, you can see better maybe, I don't know. I can see, but can you see? Alright, so we're going to be relieving the pressure here. Just over here further, you can see it better. Do one more pump. Feel the air come out, that's good. Let it up. Let it sit for a few seconds. Give it another pump. I already got pressure. Yeah. There's fluid coming out. Let the pedal up. Push down again. Let it up. Starting to get purple coming out there. I don't know if you saw it. Good volume that time. Okay, we better stop right now and get some more fluid in the chamber here before we go too far. See if we ran out of fluid down in there. You don't want to pump the thing dry and then have no fluid. Okay. Get out of the way. Hopefully the line, just a line, that's the line. Hopefully there's no air underneath this. Appears to be pumping up. So I'm pushing the pedal. See, I've got a pedal. See, it springs back. It's not. It's got pressure under it. See the caliper flexing? And you got pressure. Okay, a little air bubble came up. Pedal feels really good. I think we already got the air out. See, unlike the 3 hours I spent fixing that piece of crap that would not pump up because it was all locked up, once I put the new kit up in there, just like this, 3 pumps, it was up. And everybody's picking on me how I do it. Well, screw you guys, do it however you want to. Okay, so this is nice and hard. See, I barely even move the pedal. This is all free play. We got brakes already. Literally that quick. Okay, so we're going to give it one more squirt down here to make sure. We'll give it one good heavy squirt. Now I'm giving a heavy squirt because you still got a large up and down of the line. The air might be stuck up in here. So I want to make sure it pumps out. So we'll put pressure on it. Give it a quick squirt, drop off, come back, and then we give it half a squirt. Make sure there's no air, and pump it up. I'm going to lock it. It's locked. Pull it off. Not much of a mess there. See, we're not dripping fluid everywhere because it's on my towel. Pretty clean. The towel's full of fluid though. So if you get rid of the towel, you won't be too bad. But a little bit of overspray way over here. Wipe that up. And throw this away. There you go. That's how you do it. Don't get too messy. Okay, so now we got a nice brake. It's right there. It's just it's got brake instantly. Fluid level looks good. And we have no leakage yet. Another good sign. Okay, so now that looks pretty full. Where's our cover at? Okay, this is going to bring up a lot of fluid. I can probably put a little bit more fluid in here before it overflows, but not too much more. So once again, you want to get this stuff covered up pretty quickly so you don't get too much air introduced into your system. We don't want air in our system. And we should not use a nice oily dirty rag like this to clean your brake with. You should have a nice clean towel to do it. Okay. Nice brand new clean towel. So clean out the inside of this because you want a bunch of junk inside your new cylinder. Especially this chrome residue on the side. You definitely do not want that in your brake system. So make sure it's good and clean. Make sure there's no holes in it. The job of this is to suck down as the fluid level goes down so you don't get no air in the system. But you have fluid that moves up and down freely. That's why it's made like this. Okay, so we can fill that up a little bit more. Probably about there is all we can do. So we're about 3/16 of an inch down from the top. Now this is going to have a big air thing in here, which is not going to, it's going to make it come out probably, but if we're lucky, it'll go all the way down and not make a mess. Looks like it just made it. It's just starting to come out the top. By pushing the rest of the way, it just started poking out the top there, which means we had it just right. It's a GMA. So we're maximum fluid level. So we're making just a little bit of mess. Yeah, should be 2 of those. Okay, there you go. So I figure out which one of these it is. It's one of them. Might already be out. It was. We're making a little bit of a mess right now. Now, when you tighten the screws down on these, you don't want to over torque them. That'd be a bad thing. So let me get me a towel here. Toilet paper works really good as a towel. Highly absorbent and clean. Pull up the excess. All right. So when you tighten these up, you tighten them up until the rubber just collapses, like that, and that's full tight. That's all you need. We'll be back.